Well, the market has contracted so much. People are absolutely obsessed, and justifiably so, with getting the best price for their property when selling. So should people go private and try and sell a property themselves, or should they try the old trusted route of employing an estate agent? We've been finding out.
The reason why somebody should use an auctioneer when they're selling their property as opposed to selling it themselves is for, I suppose, 4 fundamental reasons. Is to relieve one's stress, and also with regards to time management. We're all very time poor, so auctioneers can do the job for you with regards to viewings and so on. You also want to make sure that your property is exposed in all the different mediums of advertising to get the best price possible for you. And effectively, you want to be comfortable that you've given yourself the best chance, because it is one of your biggest assets and you want professionals looking after it for you.
One of the things that people worry about when they're thinking about selling privately is how to arrive at a guide price for their house. How they're going to get the valuation on the property. Obviously, they can ask the estate agents for a valuation in any case, but very often what happens is that we have people coming to us who have maybe 3 wildly varying valuations on their property from the experts, and they're wondering why that is happening. So we have to explain that there's an agenda behind agents valuing your property, and they know that if they give you a valuation that's lower than the next guy coming through the door, that they're going to lose the business to that next agent. So we then have to advise people to look at the valuations that they've been given, compare them to what properties are selling for in their area, not just guiding at.
Auctioneering is actually one of the oldest professional services around, and not a lot of people know that. And if it was so easy to sell a property yourself in a good or a bad market, we would have gone out of business a long time ago. And people need to remember that when they are considering selling a property themselves or using an auctioneer.
My partner's parents decided to move to Wexford and got an estate agent in to sell their home. Put a deposit on a place in Wexford, and the estate agent let them down a couple of times. So after 6 months he still hadn't sold it, and they were going to lose the property in Wexford. So I was drafted in to see if I could sell it privately, just as a last ditch effort to try and sell the house.
The feedback that we're getting from sellers is that the process is very smoothly and easily done. Rather than waiting for communications back from agents and following up and seeing what buyers have said about their property or whatever, they're dealing directly with the buyer. They can decide when to show the property. They can show the property at times that suit the buyers, and therefore is more attractive to buyers to deal directly with private sellers. So you can decide, a private seller can decide to show in the evenings, or they can decide to show at the weekends, or they can decide to get everybody together and show it to everybody within the same 2 or 3 hours. But they're in control of the entire process.
It really probably would not be appropriate for you to be returning from a long day at work, preparing the house for the viewing, then doing the viewing. But not only that, you have to take into account that it's going to be late at night, possibly at lunchtime, or even at the weekends. And those viewings can last any time from 30 minutes to 2 hours if they want to do an open viewing. And for example, if you had to go to an important occasion like your son's soccer final at the school on Saturday morning at 11 a.m, how are you going to juggle that with the all-important viewing, the second time viewing for the potential purchaser who has serious interest? you won't be able to do that, but your auctioneer will.
To start off with, I found the website, read up on the website what was involved, posted the house on the website, the description and the whole lot. Now, I did find it difficult. I'm not computer literate by any means, and found it difficult to upload the photos. So I rang the website and they said, no problem, take photos, stick them in an envelope, post them down, we'll post them on your page, which they did within a day or so. And once I got roped into selling the house privately, I researched around and found out kind of all I needed to know, price-wise in the area, stuff like that. I loaded the property onto the private seller website, and from there started receiving calls, and instead of having to go and do viewings every night, I block booked the viewings. So every Tuesday or whatever day suited me and suited them, I block booked viewings for that evening. So it would only take one evening a week as opposed to 2 or 3 evenings a week.
When you're selling your property through an auctioneer, you will have to pay a fee. Now, this fee is money well spent because, for example, if you're selling a house for 500,000 euro, the fee, for example, might be average of 1%, so 5,000 euro. But it's the job of the auctioneer then to try and get you the best price off the quoting price. And at the end of the day, he might end up at 525 or 550 in a good market, or even in a bad market, because he has experience and he has the skill and he has the professionalism to bring people up if he gets them into a bidding war. So at the end of the day, it's a false economy to say that you're saving money by not selling to an auctioneer.
I would absolutely advise anybody to try selling privately. There's so much to be gained in terms of fees saved on commission, in terms of getting a higher value for your property, in terms of being in control of the whole process and less frustrations. It's growing phenomenally. 10 times more people are listing on our website than were this time last year. The US, 30% of people sell their properties privately. It's something that you really should try. There's very little to be lost and everything to be gained from trying it.
There's a huge amount of things when you're selling a property to consider, and someone who's selling their property themselves, to be quite honest, with no disrespect to them, won't have this experience.
So we put it on the website, and 4 weeks later they put the sign in the garden. They didn't want a sign in their garden, didn't want the neighbours knowing their business. 4 weeks after they decided they put the sign in the garden, and 4 weeks after that it was sold.
Well, lots of information there and lots of food for thought. Remember, you can email our programme. It's info@city.ie, and we love to hear from you.